Hymn to the Nile. I. Adoration to the Nile. Hail to thee, O Nile! Who manifesteth thyself over this land, and contest to give life to Egypt. Mysterious is thy issuing forth from the darkness, on this day whereon it is celebrated. Watering the orchards created by Re-11, to cause all the cattle to live. Thou givest the earth to drink, inexhaustible one. Path that descendeth from the sky. 12. Loving the bread of Seb and the first fruits of Neperah. Thou causest the workshops of Ta 13 to prosper. Lord of the fish, during the inundation, no bird alights on the crops. Thou createst the corn, thou bringest forth the barley, assuring perpetuity to the temples. 14. If thou ceasest thy toil and thy work, then all that exists is in anguish. If the gods suffer in heaven. 13. Then the faces of men waste away. Then he torments the flocks of Egypt, and great and small are in agony. But all is changed for mankind when he comes. He is endowed with the qualities of Nem. 16. If he shines, the earth is joyous. Every stomach is full of rejoicing. Every spine is happy. Every jawbone crushes its food. 4. He brings the offerings. 17. As chief of provisioning. He is the creator of all good things. As master of energy, full of sweetness in his choice. If offerings are made, it is thanks to him. He brings forth the herbage for the flocks, and sees that each god receives his sacrifices. All that depends on him is a precious incense. He spreads himself over Egypt, filling the granaries, renewing the marts, watching over the goods of the unhappy. V. He is prosperous to the height of all desires, without fatiguing himself therefore. He brings again his lordly bark. He is not sculptured in stone, in the statues crowned with the Euryalus serpent, he cannot be contemplated. No servitors has he, no bearers of offerings. He is not enticed by incantations. None knows the place where he dwells. None discovers his retreat by the power of a written spell. No dwelling is there, which may contain thee. None penetrates within thy heart. Thy young men, thy children applaud thee and render unto thee royal homage. Stable are thy decrees for Egypt. 19. Before thy servants of the north. 20. He stanches the water from all eyes, and watches over the increase of his good things. 7. Where misery existed, joy manifests itself, all beasts rejoice. The children of Sebek, the sons of Neet. 21. The cycle of the gods which dwells in him, are prosperous. No more reservoirs for watering the fields. He makes mankind valiant, enriching some, bestowing his love on others. None commands at the same time as himself. He creates the offerings without the aid of Neet. 22. Making mankind for himself with multiform care. 8. He shines when he issues forth from the darkness, to cause his flocks to prosper. It is his force that gives existence to all things. Formulae. The Nile alone was excepted from this law. It remained enshrouded in mystery in its retreat near the two whirlpools often mentioned in the text and even alluded to by Herodotus. Nothing remains hidden for him. Let men clothe themselves to fill his gardens. He watches over his works, producing the inundation during the night. It is a god. He causes all his servants to exist, all writings and divine words. 23. And that which he needs in the north. 9. It is with the words that he penetrates into his dwelling, he issues forth at his pleasure through the magic spells. 24. Thy unkindness brings destruction to the fish. It is then that prayer is made for the annual water of the season. Southern Egypt is seen in the same state as the north. Each one is with his instruments of labor, none remains behind his companions. None clothes himself with garments. The children of the noble put aside their ornaments. The night remains silent. But all is changed by the inundation. It is a healing balm for all mankind. X. Establisher of justice. Mankind desires thee, supplicating thee to answer their prayers, thou answerest them by the inundation. Men offer the first fruits of corn, all the gods adore thee. The birds descend not on the soil. It is believed that with thy hand of gold thou makest bricks of silver. But we are not nourished on lapis lazuli, corn alone gives vigor. A festal song is raised for thee on the harp, with the accompaniment of the hand. Thy young men and thy children acclaim thee and prepare their long exercises. Thou art the august ornament of the earth, letting thy bark advance before men, lifting up the heart of women in labor, and loving the multitude of the flocks. 12. When thou shinest in the royal city. 25. The rich man is sated with good things. The poor man even disdains the lotus. All that is produced is of the choicest, all the plants exist for thy children. If thou hast refused to grant nourishment, the dwelling is silent, devoid of all that is good, the country falls exhausted. 13. O inundation of the Nile, offerings are made unto thee, oxen are immolated to thee, great festivals are instituted for thee. Birds are sacrificed to thee. Gazelles are taken for thee in the mountain. Pure flames are prepared for thee.